right, guys, sorry about that. Took a few seconds to get this up and rolling. Cyber Monday, I know you guys are all out there and shopping and getting those savings, and a lot of you guys are doing the RA and the OA thing today, and there's great deals out there to be had, great money to be had. So without further ado, we're going to get started. My name is John Bullis Sr., and I am the host of the JB Show. This is the JB Show 108 version. Going to get my sponsor out of the way. We are sponsored, as always, by My Fulfillment Team. My Fulfillment Team is a state-of-the-art inventory processing company. You source, we process, you profit. You can register for free. It doesn't cost you anything. They'll receive, store, prep, pack, ship, and Amazon Plus. What this means is they have their own software. They tie into Amazon's API. They do all the work. All you got to do is buy products and put it on their actual site after you put it into your seller account. You just carry over your MSKU. They're a specialized prep company you can trust, family owned and operated for 9 years plus now, millions of items processed. Never touch your inventory again. Automate your process. Pay for only the services you need. They can bag, bubble, bundle, multi-pack. They do it all. Check them out at www.myfulfillmentteam.com. All right, guys, today I have a very special guest. I'm not sure I know how to spell Rob's last name.
That's okay.
How do we say that, Rob?
Balasabas.
Yeah, Rob Balasabas with us today. And Rob Balasabas is, it works with Thinkific, and he does many other things. And he has a presentation for us today that he's going to be doing, a PowerPoint. But before we do that, for my audience members that are going to see this, probably most of you on the replay since it's Cyber Monday, which is okay. But he's going to introduce himself and say a little bit about him and what he does and what he's up to, and we'll get started. Hey, Rob, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, John. My name is Rob Balasabas. Hey, everyone. Good to meet you all. I'm with Thinkific. It's an online course platform, and I'm the social media and community manager here. So I manage all of our social channels, also our online and offline communities of different course creators, also working with a lot of our partners and entrepreneurs, influencers and other software companies. Really excited to be here with you all and talk to you about building your first or your next online course and getting that out to market as quickly as possible. So, yeah.
Awesome. So guys, hold your questions. Unless you have questions, hold them to the end. He has a PowerPoint he wants to put together for us, so we want to get through that, and then we'll take any questions that you guys might have. Stay to the end, guys. He also has a special Cyber Monday type deal he put together for us here. So there's a giveaway we have. So if you want to be around for the giveaway, stay to the end, and we'll be picking 2 winners. So hang on, guys. I promise you at the end, he's got something really great for you.
Awesome. Sounds good. Great. So John, did you want me to just share my screen then? Is that cool?
Just go ahead and share your screen, Rob.
All right, I'll do that here. John, just let me know if I'm sharing it properly. You should all see a blue screen with 5 steps, the 5-step blueprint to creating online courses with Thinkific.
That's exactly what I see.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's get into it. I want to make sure I respect everyone's time. So thank you again for hanging out with us for the next bunch of minutes. Hopefully I'll be able to share some ways that you can build your first online course and get that out also to market so that you can start generating income and revenue through this channel for your business. So first things first, there will be a replay. If anybody's watching this and you need to hop off or anything, there will be a replay. John's going to share that with everybody here. So we'll send that after this live session webinar. And also, like John mentioned, stay to the end. We want to make sure we do have an exclusive bonus bundle here that we want to share with everyone here that gives you access to not only our platform, but also some of the newest trainings that we've launched just very recently. So stick around till the very end. We'll share that with all of you. Okay, so first, what are we going to cover today? So let's make sure that we cover that. So today we're going to be covering... I'm going to just open this up here and just open up all the little bullets. So we're going to cover why. So why should you create an online course to grow your business? With the what, which is what do you need in order to confidently create your online course? Some examples. So we're going to share with you some examples of people that have done this already. And then also, how do you then do that? Right. So I want to share with you how you actually then step by step create your first online course very easily with Thinkific. All right. So who is this training for? So first of all, it's for people that really want to help more people out there without trading more time and money to reach more people. All right. So we all have the same goals, right? So you want to help more people without trading time for money or hiring more staff, right? So we want to make sure that that is for that person. If you are selling your expertise as a speaker, as an author, as a trainer, perhaps as a consultant or a service provider, this is going to be for you as well. And most importantly, and lastly, if you want to scale the impact of your expertise and what that has to do with the world, so if you're a content creator, so if you have a blog or a podcast or a YouTube channel, if you are creating live content on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, and you're looking for ways to effectively monetize that, so that channel, that expertise, that audience base, this is going to be for you. All right, so I'm going to show you how to grow your business with online courses. And again, why should you create an online course? So let's talk about some of the challenges, right, that businesses face when they are growing their business. So the first challenge that entrepreneurs face is that when you trade your time for money, you eventually, and you know this, John, you run out of time very quickly, all right? So when that happens, you really have three options, right? So the first option, going to come up on the screen here, is that you raise your prices, right? So most, if you want to raise your prices, that's great. So the more revenue you're going to have without having more customers, right? So you don't need to get more customers. You just need to raise your prices, your hourly rate or your per consultation rate, whatever that is, whatever you're selling your product or service for, you just raise those prices. You don't have to get more customers. You just need to raise your prices, right? Second thing you can do is then you can also hire more help. So what you can do is just not increase prices without facing some resistance or changing your target market, but you can increase the amount of customers that you serve on a daily basis, which means that you'll just need to hire more staff members, more people to help you out, maybe a VA, more VAs, or more in-house staff, whatever that may be. Or thirdly, you can create leverage, right? Leverage is a very, it's a buzzword these days, but you can separate your time from your revenue by creating training or digital products that delivers results without you having to be present. So online courses gives you that leverage that you need to serve more people.
That's what you're basically, Rob, you're basically talking about evergreen type stuff, correct?
Exactly. So things that are on demand, that you don't have to be there. It's not a workshop. It's not a live workshop. It's not a webinar like this. It's on demand content that people can consume without you having to be present. And so that's how you're able to separate your time from that revenue. All right. So how online courses can help grow your business. So there's a few things here that I want to just make sure that you are all aware of. So the first thing is that it builds a really solid foundation, right? Online courses, whether it's free or low cost, gives you a solid foundation to create content from to help people at the start of your journey. So they work very well for partners to share as well. So if you have partners in your space, in your industry, it's something that your partners can also share, whether it's an affiliate relationship that you have with them, with other audiences that's new to you, so you can reach more people very easily. You can add value to your services. So the online courses can be a really good supplement to your product or the service that you're already providing, which gives it an even more a bigger perceived value that you're providing to your clients and your customers. Also, it can boost your revenue, right? So online courses are a premium product and enables you to sell your expertise at a premium cost. So you can really go deep with your leads and inspire them to take more action when you do it this way. And thirdly, it creates a better experience, right? So you build trust, right? So you're able to showcase your expertise and creativity in your online courses. And it just makes it really easy for you to create a better experience rather than on top of what you're already doing with the products and services that you're providing. So let's get into some really actionable steps. I'm going to share the 5-step blueprint to creating and then selling your online courses successfully, okay? So the first thing that we want to do is really, you want to choose a topic. So based on your passions, your skills, and most importantly, market demand. Let's talk about that for a second here. So What is a winning course topic? So this is a really easy to follow diagram here where your passion and your expertise and market demand intersect, right? So make sure that you're passionate about the topic, right? Grit is a prerequisite for success and passion is a prerequisite for grit. So you want to make sure that you are teaching what you know and what you're known for, right? So for me, I do a lot of content. I create a lot of content on LinkedIn. So I've created a LinkedIn course, right? So it's something that I am passionate about. It's something that I have expertise on because I use it on a daily basis. I consult on it as well. And I know for a fact, just because the sheer number of users on LinkedIn and the sheer number of people that are creating content on LinkedIn, there's a big gap, right? There's a lot of people on LinkedIn, but not too many of them. A very small percentage is creating content specifically for LinkedIn for B2B purposes. So that I know for sure that has created a market demand for training on how to leverage that particular platform. So what you want to do is you want to focus on the outcomes, not the means, right? So what does that in actual practice, what does that look like? So one example is, sewing, right? So sewing is the means to something, but the actual result, the outcome of sewing, say your first dress, right, by yourself, that's the outcome, right? So for LinkedIn, for my training, how to post, right? How to post videos on LinkedIn. That is the means to something, right? That's the means to generating leads for your business. So the outcome is generating leads for your business using videos on LinkedIn. And so focus on the outcome, not the means, right? So also, evidence of market demand will ensure that you're creating or growing a healthy business. You want to verify that there's a niche audience with a problem that you can solve with your expertise and that they're willing to invest their time and money to solve that problem by learning it from an online course that you have created. So you want to make sure that there's market demand, right? That people actually care about this pain point that they want to solve. So we're going to get into some of those examples in a little bit, but what I want to do here is really focus on your value proposition. So this is a really easy sort of sentence that I'd like to share with all of you. I'm just going to get my little PowerPoint thing here, a little pointer. But what you want to do is this sentence, and I want you just all to fill in the blank. You can pause this if you're watching this on the replay, but I really just want you to focus on filling the blank here so that you can have a really good foundation as to what your course will solve, what that problem is that they're going to solve, and what the topic is going to be. So this is the sentence I want you to fill out the blanks on, okay? So my course on topic, whatever that topic is, helps your audience, who's your target audience, learn how to, and then what the outcome is, right? What's the outcome that you want to provide to them so that they can, and then put the benefit, right? So let's see. So I'm going to have some examples here for you that fills in this blank for our actual course creators that are using our platform. So first one here is Chris Newman. So he has what's called the Cine Chopper University. And so his value proposition, I'm just going to get my pointer again, is my course on drone cinematography, right? So that's his topic, drone cinematography, helps videographers. That's his really targeted audience. So you notice it's videographers, not just, people that like videos or people that are content creators, specifically videographers, learn how to, and then offer drone video services, right? So that's the outcome. He wants videographers to learn how to offer drone video services so that they can make their business stand out, right? So that's one really good example. Another example here, on the note of sewing, is Mimi G. So Mimi G is based out of Los Angeles. She's a fantastic course creator. She used to be, a little bit of background on Mimi is that she used to take orders from people to make custom dresses and gowns and things like that. And then she built an online course. It's called Sew It Academy. You can Google it. It's really, really successful, really thriving. She's actually built now the Sew It Academy for women and Sew It Academy for men. And then I believe she's also launching a a version of her course for children. So very interesting. So her course is my course on sewing. So that's a topic. Helps DIY enthusiasts. That's her audience. Learn how to sew their own clothes. That's the outcome. So they can be more self-sufficient. That's the benefit, right? So, and then I think I've got one more here. Jonathan Levy, he is the Become a Super Learner. He's a TEDx speaker, really fantastic course, and got a fantastic team as well. So his value proposition is my course on memory skills helps busy professionals and students learn how to learn more in less time. So saving time, right? His thing is all about memory and how to remember things really quickly so that they can improve themselves faster, right? So I want you to pause and just really think about what your winning topic is. And feel free to leave that in the comments, come back here to the Facebook Live, or send it in to us. Feel free. I'd love for you. I just want you to be accountable to actually doing this, because this really sets the foundation of the course that you're going to build. You want to make sure that you are going the right direction, that you have the right focus when you build your course before you start investing time into building landing pages and filming videos and lessons and things like that. I want to make sure that you have a really solid winning topic. So feel free to leave that in the comments of any of the live streams that you're seeing here, or message it in to us. We just love to hear from you. Make sure that you're taking that first step. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to validate market demand. So I'm going to go into the next slide here. There you go. So we want to make sure that we find proof that your online course will sell to your ideal audience, right? So we want to make sure here that you don't want to rely on hunches, right? You want to just say like, I think it would sell. I have a pretty good feeling about it. You want to really validate this. So don't rely on hunches. Take the time to prove market demand.
Hey, Rob, that question you had, that was, what was your winning topic? Is that what it was?
Yes.
I'm putting that in the chat for the people that see the replay as well, so they can kind of do their homework.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, John. Okay. So how do you validate that topic, that your topic will sell, right? So first thing that you can do is social media listening. This is really key. This is really easy. Everybody has access to this. So you want to join communities that are already discussing your topic to determine demand. So again, for me, if I was talking on LinkedIn, teaching on LinkedIn, that particular topic, then I would join places and groups, Slack groups, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, right? You want to follow hashtags as well. Connecting with influencers and looking at their blog posts, right? Social Media Examiner, for example, is a really popular publication, online publication. It's got a huge blog and they talk about LinkedIn all the time. So, there's posts about LinkedIn that I can go into and read the comments, answer questions, and kind of see if there is a demand for this topic. You can go into forums, you can go into Reddit, right? There's so many different things that you can do as far as social media listening. So join the communities that are already speaking and discussing your topic. If it's yoga, there's tons of topics on yoga. If it's Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, there's already tons of places online where communities that are interested in these topics are coming together. So just join those conversations. You want to then ask your audience as well, right? So review content trends, right? Research your audience demographics. You can also send them a survey, right? Audiences want to voice their thoughts and their opinions. So if you already have an established audience, you're already so far ahead, right? So if you have an email list, or if you have a following on any of the social channels, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook, right? You can put polls, right? You can ask, these are built into all of these tools, right? One of the really successful things that I'm seeing a lot of content course creators do on Instagram, as just one example, is using the stories questions sticker, right? So they say, hey, I'm looking to build an online course or a training program on LinkedIn. What questions do you think I should be answering inside of my program? And then you put the question sticker on LinkedIn, and basically people can just type in what their thoughts are, what their answers are to that question. So use that, right? You have easy access with the way that social media works these days, is that you have a whole focus group for free, accessible at your fingertips on our mobile phones and all these social channels. So use that sentence that I just already shared with you there. I'm planning to create some training on XYZ topic. What questions do you have about XYZ that you want me to cover, right? So really easy. Okay. The next one, competitor research. So look to find existing revenue streams based on your topic, right? Find courses that are already out there around this topic. So I know that there's a lot of course creators out there that will take their competitors' courses because they want to see what other experts in their fields are teaching, right? So, and then based on that, you don't want to copy their courses, but you want to find ways to differentiate yourself. Maybe there's something that they're not touching on. So maybe there's, for example, going back to my example on LinkedIn, maybe they're not talking about building communities on LinkedIn. Maybe all they talk about is how to create content. Maybe they're not talking about a specific feature that you can do on LinkedIn. So just understand, because you want to see everything from your potential students' point of view, because they're going to be reviewing your course. They're going to be comparing it with other courses that are available on the market that are similar to yours. And so you want to understand what other people are teaching and then also see where you can differentiate yourself. Okay. Some of the places that you can go to are Udemy, right? Udemy is an online course marketplace. So really easy. You can kind of see people's landing pages. You can see what they're offering. You can see pricing as well. Really important. The Amazon bookstore, look at the 2, 3, and 4 star reviews to see where you can do better, right? So those are just couple suggestions there. And then lastly, pre-sell your topic, right? Set up a landing page. It's really easy with a checkout for your product before you create any type of content, right? Sell the topic first, right? So you can do this really easily, and I'll share some training on how to build a really easy landing page, just because I don't want to take up the time here on the live, but we do have training on how to do that using Thinkific. We already have a template that you can use. Essentially, there's placeholders, and you replace it with your own content, publish it, and then you can put it out to the market and have a really well put together pre-sale landing page. So the idea here, everyone, is that you don't want to take all the time and effort building a course, then launching it, and then finding out that there is no interest for that particular topic. So you want to reverse engineer that whole process. And so what I would rather see you do is build a landing page with the topic that you've already determined to teach, put a price to it, put the curriculum, meaning what are the topics that you're going to be teaching. So if it's LinkedIn, you're going to be, for example, how to market on LinkedIn. I'm going to talk about, the misconceptions about LinkedIn. I want to talk about the different types of content you can create. I want to talk about lead generation for LinkedIn, commenting, hashtags, all those things. I'm not going to create any of the lessons, but I will then publish it and put it out to my audience and then get people to register for that. I'll talk about how you then teach that live so that you can then also get even more insights from your audience that take that course to really refine the course so that before you turn it into an evergreen course. Okay? All right. So I want to talk about Dorie Clark really quick. Dorie Clark is an author, speaker, and she's a course creator on Thinkific. And so I've got some bullet points here of how she has done her pre-launch. So I'm just going to open up all the bullets here. So first, what she did was she surveyed her readers. So she had a following, so she surveyed her readers. She then outlined a topic, right? She put the outline and an initial price for her course. You'll see the price is down here. It's $500 per seat. What she then did is she followed up for feedback, right? She followed up for feedback. So you can do this a number of ways. You can actually set up a call if you like. I've seen a lot of course creators in their initial sort of research and pre-selling process. They sent out their survey. People replied to the survey. And then they said, okay, cool. I appreciate your feedback. I would love to hop on a quick 15-minute call with you just to ask a couple more follow-up questions, right? And then in that call, there's a bit, they're going to ask questions and their interest is going to get even more piqued, right? So she followed up for feedback. She then created a sales page and a checkout, right? She put a price to her course, and then she launched a page to her list, right? And I mean, there's the punchline right there. It's 40. She sold 45 seats, pre-sold 45 seats at $500, which is over 22 grand worth of revenue, right? So she did that really systematically. She didn't just create a course, sort of taking a guess on what her audience would like. She went to her audience first and said, "Hey, you already follow me. You already know the type of content that I create. You already have an idea of my expertise. I'd love to get your feedback on, what you think of this outline for my course." And then she got the feedback. She refined it. And then she put out the sales page. So that is the last piece here. So whereas a lot of people will start with a sales page, try to sell it, and then kind of work backwards. So we flip that around. So I really want you to take that to heart and really understand that process before you start investing all the time and effort to building a course without understanding your audience.
Rob, that speaking of what you just talked about, that's a great way to do it too, because there's no risk factor. You're
Right.
actually going in there and finding out what your audience is struggling with and what they're looking for. And then you're going out and pre-selling it. And if you pre-sell something, then you get verification of whether or not it's something that you should be putting together anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like any other product or business. You want to understand your audience, John. Yeah. So, I really, share this really, really important point with a lot of people, just because when I first started at Thinkific almost 4 years ago, I took a couple onboarding calls with course creators. And I remember this one gentleman, I'll never forget him, because he was actually like sort of like in the brinks of like giving up on online courses altogether, because he spent about 6 months building his course. He put it out to the market and there was crickets. There was no interest for his course whatsoever. And so, not knowing anything much about online courses at the time, because I just had started at Thinkific, I was like, okay, well then how do we help you here, right? So, and then I started talking to really successful course creators. And this is, for the most part, this is the blueprint. This is the playbook that they go by. They go to their audience first, understand what they want, what's the pain point, and then they build the product to address that pain point, right? As entrepreneurs, you're listening to this right now, you think about your space, whether you are, on Amazon, or you're an expert in, yoga, or, calligraphy, or whatever that topic may be. You have such a vast knowledge, and it's almost really hard. Like, it's almost as hard to just pick one thing that your audience would want to know from you. So what is the first course you want to build? That's almost as hard as not having any ideas at all when you have too many ideas. So, take that like question mark away out of the equation by going to your audience and then seeing what they want to learn from you. So, yeah.
I think there's a lot out there too. You may agree or disagree, but there's a lot of courses out there, without going into any names, that really don't address that pain point.
Mm-hmm.
They're just about selling and how much and testimonials and things like that. And I think that you have to address the pain point, and more so about even the pain point, you have to address the relief from the pain. What is the pain, and what am I going to do to give you the relief from that pain? So how do I make it so that you don't have that pain anymore? I think that's what needs to be done. The other thing I wanted to say real quick is that we all have something to share. I mean, we all can create something, no matter what it is. There's an audience out there. There's a demand for what you know. And it doesn't matter the topic either. But it's out there and you can do it. But a lot of people, I get scared or think that, why create something that's already out there? And why is it going to sell for me when there's 100 different variations of it out there? And I think that's one of the myths that I'd like you to address, is that it even holds me back. Is like, why do I want to put a course out on wholesale where I'm a wholesale expert? Or why do I want to put a course on to teach people how to time manage or things like that when there's so many out there? So I think that holds a lot of people back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to address that now before we kind of move forward, because that's a really good question, John. There's already so many courses out there on every topic that you can dream of. There's nothing new under the sun, right, as they say. But really what it is, the value that you deliver to your audience is really your unique voice, right? I created a LinkedIn course. knowing full well that there are so many other people that have created LinkedIn courses already, people that obviously, have much more bigger audiences, higher profiles, these are influencers, that have already created content and courses around LinkedIn. But I still had a really successful launch just because a lot of people really gravitate to people that they already know, right? That they trust. I'm not saying that I am anywhere near influencer status or anything like that, but there is such a thing about having micro influencers or people that have your audience that are really loyal to you. They would rather learn from you because they see what you're doing on a daily basis, and you are to them, they know you, they trust you. And versus somebody that may be a bigger status, the Bill Gates of the world or whoever, the big names, right? Grant Cardone or any of these big names, because they don't really know that person. There's really no, there's no relationship that they can, sort of like feel that there is a relationship there. So it's really your unique voice, the experience that you have, and so people gravitate to you for that. So, a lot of course creators that use Thinkific, they're not big, they're not huge names, right? They're not influencers, but yet they have such a loyal following because they've created a really loyal audience around them, a really loyal, I wouldn't say, probably not audience is the best word, but a community, right? Community that they built around them. And so everybody has their own voice. They have their own sets of experiences, and that's why people will gravitate to that. So there's so many different people out there that we are able to help to create this additional revenue stream for their business, and it's really exciting. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, the other thing too, you being a big LinkedIn person, that there's so many different relationships you can build through LinkedIn as well. I mean, you could partner with people what you don't know and they know, and you have an audience, so they have an audience, and you guys can partner together and put something together. So LinkedIn, I find, is real good for connecting business to business people or networking entrepreneurs together.
Yep, exactly. It's a great platform. I mean, that's why I love it. So, it's I'll send my course to you, John. You can check it out. Awesome. Okay, well, so the next thing I want to share with you guys here is the third part of the 5 steps here is creating lessons. So once you've chosen your topic, validated the demand, and you feel well with that, you're confident that your course has demand in the marketplace, you want to start creating your lessons. Okay, so just a few things here I want to share with you when it comes to building online course lessons. Okay, I'm just going to open up these slides here so that we have the full picture. So really, why do people buy online courses? So, whether it's coaching, consulting, training, books, any expertise based on products or services out there. So your expertise is the key to open a door for somebody else, right? There's somebody out there that sees what you're doing and they want to get to where you're at, right? That's really how it is. And so they are in their current reality and they want to get to a desired future, right? So they have a problem that they need to solve or a result that they desire, right? And so to get from their current reality to that desired future, they're looking for a shortcut. And that's really sort of the word that I want you guys to understand here. Shortcut. Your course is essentially a shortcut, right? For a number of reasons. One example is that a lot of content that you would probably teach inside of your course, it's probably already available on YouTube, for example, for free, right? But a lot of people, and there's a lot of YouTubers that use Thinkific. It's for somebody that wants to learn or achieve that particular desired feature for themselves. They can find that content on YouTube, for example, but it's not going to be in the order that they would get if they were to take that person's course, right? Because the course is A to Z, right? Very systematic, very step-by-step, versus trying to mishmash together a bunch of different videos on YouTube. So that's just one example there. So understand that your course is the shortcut to that transformation that they are looking to achieve. Okay, so I'm just going to get it here. So we're going to map that backwards, right? So I'm going to give you guys one example here of a new grad, right? New university grad to a career, right? So, and there's a few courses that I've seen on this topic. So let's just take this example. So what are the major milestones and the moments that they have from being a new graduate to achieving their goal, which is a new career, right? So first thing they want to build is a resume. Second thing, they probably want to clean up their social media, right? So they want to clean up all their, old pictures and all the things that all the pictures and all those things, all the content on their social media, because knowing full well that employers are going to be looking at that, right? They want to get into some networking, whether that's online or offline networking. The third step would be networking. They want to then do some applications, right? So how do you do that properly, right? So all those things, right? How do you send in proper applications? Where do you look, right? Where do you look for, job openings and opportunities and all those things? And then the last thing here is the interview, right? So those are the milestones from new graduate to new career. And so, this is a shortcut, right? There's all these points, all these milestones that people are going after that they need to hit, right? And so if you are creating a course on how to find your first job after university, then these are sort of the things that you need to address, right? I'm just going to
Hey, Rob, can I say something about that?
Yeah, of course.
Can you bring that slide right back for one
Sure,
second?
yeah, you got it.
So, and what a lot of people do that I see, and this is the old school way, is you go from resume to interview. They don't do the in-between steps, which are very important. And I found out when I was out there, before I became an entrepreneur and was working for myself for many years now, I found out that the more you knew about the company, the more you knew about its mission statement, what they stand for and what they're doing, the better off you're going to have of getting a job. Because that shows them that you did your homework and you actually researched them. You didn't just come in and say, hey, listen, I'm coming to work for you. Here's my resume. This is my stuff. And my stuff says that I'm good enough to work for you.
Absolutely. I mean, if you take those extra steps, right, like there's all these things that you will learn. But if you look at press releases and all those things, right, for that company, maybe you then get an understanding of what they want to achieve, right? Whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal for that company, and then sort of tie in what your expertise and experience is and how they can achieve that. Say, hey, you know what? It looks like they're looking to get into this new market. They want to get into the South American or the Asian market. And you can say, well, you know what? I've got, I can speak languages that will help you get in and penetrate those kind of markets, right? So, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. So if you learn more about that company that you're going after, will definitely help you in the whole process. So then what you want to do is you want to outline the lessons in the modules in the same way. So if you're going to go from no or sort of like an outdated resume, right, after college, and you want to get to a good resume that'll get you that dream job, post-college, post-university, then here are the steps to then address those things. So you want to, if you're creating a course, you may want to provide templates, right? Templates. And then, for cover letters, right? Then you may want to do some type of maybe a group call or something to go over the first draft, right? And then getting feedback. And then how do you then take care of references? How do you get people to, vouch for you and position themselves or position them as references for you and set them up for a successful call with those potential employers when you get to that point, right? So you take all of those steps again and just really looking at breaking down and simplifying all the steps in the process and not spending too much time, not trying to make the steps longer than they need to be. Always remember that people are gravitating to your course because you're the shortcut, right? Your course is a shortcut, right? When people watch YouTube videos and they want to learn something, they have a really specific question, right? Like my wife had this, like she was literally, no joke, John, like I think it was a month ago, my wife bought a waffle maker. And so she was trying to figure out how to use this waffle maker. And so we literally looked up how to use this specific waffle maker. and then looked up the model number of that waffle maker and on YouTube. And so it was super specific, right? And that's the same thing with people that are looking for courses, right? They're going to gravitate to you because you have a shortcut that's really specific to them and addresses their specific concern. So you want to make sure that there always is a very clear endpoint. There's a really clear end result to your course. And you speak to them on that. And then, so the whole process is very, very systematic and broken down by each of the small steps. All right, so let's move on here. So here, Marshawn Evans, she's a fantastic entrepreneur, and she is a good partner of Thinkific. And so she has shared with us some ways to make your lessons more engaging and more interactive. So first thing, using videos. Using videos, as we know, can 10x or more the value of your course, and it's the preferred way for students to learn. That's just fact. Video lessons get the most consumption. That's why YouTube is so big. That's why people love videos, and they get so much more engagement. Facilitate practice. So don't just leave it at the why and the what. Show the how and facilitate practice inside of your courses. So you can do this by using downloadable templates, sharing workbooks, worksheets, sample data, and also project files if that's sort of the type of courses that you have. But make sure that they don't just consume content from you, like you're just telling them something. Make sure that they're also then doing something with that information. So much like how we learn in an offline school environment, right? There's a professor or a teacher that lectures, and then he gives you homework, right? Gets you to do something with that information that you learned. You want to check in with
creating actionable steps within it.
Exactly. So actionable steps. You want to check in with quizzes. So include breakpoints in your course and enable students to check in with their learning with short quizzes. It can be 3 questions, 2 questions, maybe after a video or a couple of videos that you have put out there inside of your course, just to make sure that you're checking in that they have that they've understood the content that you're sharing, right? It doesn't need to be graded or anything like that. You just need to reflect that quiz with what they've just learned, right? It just helps people retain that information. So just really quick, short quizzes, and don't make it a really hard quiz. You're not trying to stump your students. You just want to make sure that they're retaining it. Maybe it then makes them think, like, if they didn't get the question right, then they might say, oh, you know what? I should probably rewatch that lesson. I must have missed that point that John was sharing. Okay. And then lastly here from Marshawn, include discussions. So create social learning with discussion questions that prompts to engage with the lesson content. So ask students a question and then have them answer it inside of Thinkific or your group. If you have a community of your students, really exciting with Thinkific, and it's not part of this slide, but we just launched a community feature. So it's essentially sort of like a Facebook group inside of Thinkific for your specific courses. So all your students can post their questions. You can, embed a Zoom live in there if you want to do a weekly live AMA for your students. So get them to discuss with each other, just like in traditional offline school, there's usually group discussions and things like that happens. So make sure that that's happening as well, so that they're learning from their peers, but also maybe an opportunity for you to learn, for them to learn from you and ask you questions directly. As a course creator, this kind of feedback is really important, right? Because you understand what your students want to learn, you understand their pain points even better, and it might help you refine your courses for the next versions. And I'm just going to kind of skim through this, but this is sort of just some screenshots here of what the students will see inside of the course. So right on the left side here is sort of the curriculum, so that they can see what each of the lessons are going to be. And then right here is the course player. So this is a video lesson, right? And it just plays full screen here. They can make it full screen if they like, and they can pause it and stop and things like that. There's a discussion that you can see here. They can click on this and then shows them the discussion. So it's all good to go. There's also a bit of gamification that's happening, right? So this is a quiz. So this is, after they answer the quizzes and they get it right, they say, oh, 100%. And then they can continue to the next lesson if they like. You can also get them to allow them to retake the quiz. And then it also says here, you need 100% to pass. So you can set a minimum passing grade for your quizzes if you're really serious about making sure that they, get 100% or at least 70% right before they can continue to the next lesson. All right. And then here is, this is one of the discussion threads. So again, you can ask people to, you can ask a question. Oops, sorry. You can ask a question and then students can write in replies here and sort of engage with specific lessons inside of your course, as well as a general community that they can be part of, like a Facebook group inside of the course. All right. Okay, I'm going to move on to some of the equipment because a lot of people here have a hang up on like, hey, I can't really build a course because I don't have the right equipment. I don't have a budget to buy expensive equipment yet, that sort of thing. So I just want to make sure that we smash that myth. Really, this is the only equipment that you need right now, right? So you need a laptop or a tablet or a phone, which we all have. You're likely already using this because you are probably watching this video on one of those machines, right? So you can also then use an HD camera. You can use a webcam, but you can also use the built-in camera on your laptop, or you can use your phones. Honestly, mobile phone cameras are great these days. The way that the technology works, they're better than some DSLR cameras. You can also get, if you want to invest, you can also get a microphone. So right now we have one of these. I use one of these because I'm in the studio here at Thinkific. So we've got a really fancy microphone. But for the most part, I usually just use this headset. So this headset here has a microphone built in, and it is literally probably like $20 or $30 at Best Buy. And so that's good enough for what I'm doing for my courses and webinars and podcast interviews and things like that. So, and then screen recording, there's some really cool tools out there. If you have a course that would involve recording your screen, so maybe you have a presentation, or maybe you're showing how to use a particular software, or maybe you're teaching people how to use Photoshop or create videos or anything like that, then there's some really cool tools out there. There's Camtasia, there's ScreenFlow, Screencast-O-Matic, but the one that I use is a tool called Loom. So Loom. You can just Google them. I think their website is useloom.com. And great tool. It's free, and you can record your screen, and you can even have it so that it has your face in a little bubble at the bottom of the screen. So it works really well. And yep. And okay, so so again, with creating your lessons, just keep your content really focused, very simple. And over time, you're going to be finding yourself sort of like revamping or, re-recording some of your lessons just because you get better, you have better equipment, you have revenue. And so you reinvest some of that into maybe a better camera or things like that. But I really wouldn't worry because most of us, if not all of us, have enough equipment that we already have at our disposal to create really fantastic lessons. Okay. And again, as a reminder, done is better than perfect, right? In this day and age. All right. Okay, Jonathan. So I'm going to get into the fourth part here of the 5 steps, which is building the course. And so for this, Jonathan, what I'll do is I'll actually share a link to our fast track to online course training that we've created. It just shows you the step-by-step on how to use Thinkific and everything like that. And it'll save us a lot of time in this live so that we can jump into the marketing of your course. So I'll share that with you as well. Any questions so far, John?
No.
Oh, you're good? Okay, sounds good. We're going to land the plane here very soon. I know that we're probably getting close to about an hour. So we'll make sure we do that. So, yeah, thanks. All right. So Online courses, again, is a really good foundation for your marketing strategy. It can work really well for you in a number of ways for your marketing funnel and your strategy as a whole. I want to talk about John Lee Dumas here. He's the host of Entrepreneurs on Fire, really successful podcast. He's got a great community, and he started to create online courses for his audience who wanted to learn more about running their own business, right? You know, what he really did here, and I'm going to just kind of skim through here really quickly, is that first he had a really engaged audience, and he told them that told him what they wanted, but they also looked at their content to see which post and podcast episodes got the most traction. So he's got a really successful podcast. So he looked at his analytics first, and so that gave him a really good idea of what kind of content that his audience would like. So I'm going to get into this next screen here. So, okay, here. So it says at the start of the journey, he found that he created ungated free content, right? So I'm going to just open up all the slides here so that he went from cold to hot. So he just created, I'm going to open this one. There we go. So he has a bunch of people from sort of like his cold market, right? So from SEO, from his partners, from social ads, from his podcast, his blog, and he drove them to this free course, right? It's called the Your Big Idea course, right? So he took them to this free course, and essentially all of his traffic was driving to this big course, right? Is just sort of like the most simplified version of this. At the end of the course, the free course, he had an upsell, right? The upsell was a paid course, right? And that was his real revenue. And from there, that's where he got his purchase, right? So this is how he used the online course aspect of his business is right here. I'm just going to find my pointer. It was really this free course. He built two courses. One was free and one was paid. And to really simplify it, he took all of his cold audience members, right? From SEO to social ads to his blog and podcast, and he drove them here, right? You can't even find his paid course unless you go to his free course first. He's not advertising that paid course, right? At the end of that free course, because he then built trust and authority with people that didn't know him from his cold audience. He built that trust and authority with the free course because he gave them value first. They became his warm audience. He gave them then an upsell at the end of it to then go to his paid course, right? Then talking to John, the idea here is that people were like, okay, well, if your free course is this good, then I'm going to see what your paid course is all about, right? And so he really brought the value in his free course. And so that's really his very basic funnel. And I'll share that with you guys as well. All right. So how can online courses help you market and sell more? So the first thing here is that, again, we talked about Marshawn here. Just going to open this up. Just as a reminder, right? So you can repurpose your content. So online courses provide a clear path for all of your top of funnel content. Right? So everything top of funnel, if you guys don't know what that is, basically it is your most coldest, newest audience to you. And so Marshawn is driving them to her course so that they get value right away. You can earn qualified leads, right? So you can go deep with your leads and inspire them to take more action with you because you are giving them value first with your content, with your course content. Also, it's great for partners. You know, I mean, online courses is really good for your partners to share, right? So it's a really good way to work with affiliates. And again, affiliates who already have the type of audiences that you want to get in front of. It's good for that as well. And then lastly, it's really good for building leverage and trust, right? So getting reviews, ratings, testimonials, and referrals from happy students after the sale. All right, so I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I'm just going to skim through here. Jonathan, is that okay? I just want to make sure that we are already, I already know we're going to go over time here, but I just want to make sure that I share the audience with the audience, the bonus here. So what we're going to be giving away today is Thinkific's Pro Plan, Pro Plus Growth Plan, right? Again, Thinkific is an awesome tool to easily create and customize courses to match your brand. We work with entrepreneurs that want to white label essentially our platform, right? So a lot of our course creators, their students don't even know that they're on Thinkific because it is a white labeled product or can be white labeled. You can build and design a website to effectively sell your courses. You can then market your courses with a full suite of business building tools, affiliates, all those things. You can engage and enrich your audience, your students, on a platform designed for their success because we make it really easy. We put a lot of effort to make sure that the student experience is really smooth, and that is really key for us because if your students are happy with their experience on Thinkific, then they will likely finish your courses. They will recommend it. They'll give you testimonials, and then it just then it makes you happy, which then in turn makes Thinkific happy, right? So everyone succeeds that way. All right, and then I'm not going to go through all of these, but there's 32 or more probably. There's always new features being updated and added to Thinkific, and you're going to get all the access to that. Really quick slide here. I think it's really good to point out. These are some of the typical costs that it would take for you to run a website, right? So landing page builder, web hosting, video hosting, membership plugins if you're using WordPress or anything like that, online course plugins, themes and support, e-commerce systems, affiliate software, certificate software. That would probably end up, give or take around $4,000 annually. And so I'm going to just fast forward here. What you're going to get here with this bonus is Thinkific's Pro and Growth Plan, our online education business masterclass, which we just ran. So you'll get access to the replay of that. I'm not going to talk too much, but that's the slide there. What you get. You also get the How to Price Your Course by Greg Smith, our CEO. So this is a really good one because it actually will help you systematically put a price to your course that's not overpriced or underpriced based on what else is going on with the market. Just going to skip through here. And then you'll get all of these other, bonuses, which is includes an onboarding call with one of our team members, a launch preparedness review with one of our team members, and also if you are already on another platform, then you'll get access to our concierge migration service. So we'll actually help you import and move over your students as well as your content over to Thinkific. We have an awesome support team that is available by phone, by email, live chat as well. And there we go. So that's the final slide. So you get all of these bonuses. And normally it's going to be about $1,000 for all of this, but we're going to give it to you guys for free for the first month. And all you need to do is just use this link that we've created for John here, thnk.cc/prosellertalk. And that'll get you access to the free month on the Thinkific Pro and Growth Plan. And then also all of these bonuses. And you get access to these immediately. And if you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, John, that is my talk for today.
All right, that was awesome. A lot of great information on how to create a course through Thinkific. And I think you answered a lot of the questions too about, the ones that are out there who have the information but are questioning why should I put a course out there. And I love the fact that you were using the social media proof first and going into your own list and asking them. I do that a lot when I do courses and things, not courses, but when I do webinars and stuff like that. I ask them what kind of topics would they like to hear in the webinar. So I do those surveys and find out what they're looking to hear. It's the same kind of basic thing what you're saying. Then once you have it, then you bring those people in around those subjects. The same thing with a course once you have it. And then the pre-sell. I love the pre-sell. I'm in the process right now working with somebody where I'm looking at putting something together that is it's called a mind shift. And getting people, to shift their minds in the right direction, because a lot of people have fear of failure, fear of success. It could be either or, and they don't know how to handle those, and they don't know, how to stay more neutral or level. And that's kind of what we talk about, is kind of whether you have success or failure, to be able to be level about it, so that when fear happens, it doesn't affect you that negatively. And when success happens, it doesn't overwhelm you. So you don't have that roller coaster up and down. You kind of stay neutral and even level with it. And you'll come out on a better side of it. And I think a lot of people don't even get to that point because fear, I hear it all the time, especially with success. It's like, what if I'm successful? They're afraid to become successful because they've never handled that. They don't know. Or if they try it and they fail, then you got your ego that gets in there, and it affects them that way, where now it's like, okay, I must not be good enough for this. But that's not true. You have to try, and we all know to get to success, you have to fail. Most people fail dozens and dozens of times, and once they fail, they don't do those things again. They figure some things out, and that's how you become successful. Is you just keep doing it, and when you have those failures, you keep pushing forward.
Yep.
Same thing with a course, like you said. You do your first draft of the course. It's not going to be perfect, but you learn from it, and then you update it, and you add those things that you learned, and keep doing it, and you keep improving it, and keep improving it. That's why you see a lot of courses come out with first edition, second edition, third edition, or master course and things like that. And I love what you said about that lady who was doing those other leveraging things, about how she was going in. I forgot what you said, but she was going in and doing things for her business with the how to leverage with the influencers and things like that. Because I think influencers right now is a huge thing. I don't think a lot of people realize that you put together something and you get to the right audience and you have an influencer, you can give it to the influencer and say, hey, if you like my course, do you mind, you mentioning it to your group? And then all of a sudden you leverage that part, and you don't even need paid ads or anything like that. So there's a lot of ways to do it when you start looking at the influencer part of the business. And that's where you come in as far as with LinkedIn, because LinkedIn could be a huge thing about business to business getting together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Working with influencers, working with one really awesome tip that I've been told is work with people that manage Facebook groups, right? There's lots of Facebook groups out there, and there's a lot of Facebook group owners that want to find ways to monetize the community that they built. And so, connect with them directly. You can easily find that when you go to a Facebook group. You can see who the owner or the admin is, and send them a personal message and to say, hey, this is my course. I love what you've built here with this community. Would you be open to discussing partnership with my course to share it with your audience, right? And who's going to say no? There might be some people, but if you are bringing value that is a fit for their community, then it's a no-brainer, right? You win, they win, the audience wins, because they'll get some resources that that might be at a good deal for them, that is just perfect for them. So that's really one easy way. So anybody that's building, anybody that has a community, and influencers being one of them for sure. But there are also people out there that are more behind the scenes, but they have built fantastic communities on Facebook, on Slack, LinkedIn groups, just different places, right? People that have blogs, right? So if they have a blog that is right up your alley, that is a good fit for your course, connect with the person that owns that blog. And again, it doesn't have to be a huge blog. It doesn't have to be a huge group either, right? If you are selling a course that's, let's just say, at $250 or $500, and there is somebody out there with a community of 200 or 300 people, if 10% of those people show interest and purchase your course, that's a pretty good day, I would say, right? So, even if you were giving away 20 or 30 or 50% of it, of the revenue as an affiliate commission to that group owner or that blogger, those are sales that you would have never had, right? Because you don't have access. You don't have the trust that they have built with that community. So definitely look into that. That's a great way to grow your business and get a lot of people into your funnel. By doing those kind of simple outreach.
Especially if you're reaching out to the targeted groups that are actually targeting your type of thing. Now, you mentioned one thing with Facebook. Now, The only way I know to get a hold of the owner on Facebook is through the admin. Is there another way, or is that just the way?
If you just go to, typically just the admin. So if I go to a group, I'll look at the members, and then right at the top, it tells you who the admin is. If there's one admin, that's probably the owner. If there's 2 or 3 or more, admins or moderators, then you might have to message a couple of them to understand, who really owns that group. That's great. It's a really simple way to do it.
Yeah, and you said LinkedIn too. LinkedIn is just more or less looking at their contact info, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Or you can send them a direct message on LinkedIn. Really personal direct message. Another tip, John, is creating a really quick video, right? So there's tools out there like Vidyard or Loom, where you can create a video really easily, and the video is hosted on the cloud, so it gives you a link. So you would say like, "Hey, John, this is Rob. Came across your group on Facebook or LinkedIn. Would love to discuss with you because I have a course that I think would be a really good fit for your audience. Would love to chat about partnership on that. And, send me a message if you're open to it." And it's a personal message. It's video, so it's more personal. They see your face. Maybe you want to put up on the screen, their website or their group, or maybe your course, and you can, talk about that as well. So, yeah, leverage other people that have already built, communities that is perfect for your course.
Yeah, I'd be interested, like you said, sending me your course on LinkedIn because there's 2 different platforms. There's a free version and then there's a premium version. Mm-hmm. And I would be interested in what platform you think most people should be on. Because I know you get a lot of information with the free one, but is the premium that much better for what you get?
Yeah. So this is a really good example. So for my course, I don't talk anything about the paid version of LinkedIn. I just talk about organic, so how to create content that will drive more eyes and awareness to your channel, and then how to take that attention and then creating content for each step of the funnel, right? So how to get them from LinkedIn to your email list, and then how to automate the email sequence to then bring value to them, all those things. So I don't talk about paid LinkedIn version, Sales Navigator or LinkedIn ads or anything. So even there, that's a really good example of really niching down on the type of content that you're talking about, right? The type of course that you're putting out there. There's a lot of people like in the Facebook space, for example, where they're experts on Facebook Live. Like, how do you generate leads from Facebook Live? There's courses on how do you build really thriving and really successful, profitable Facebook groups, right? There's people that talk about Facebook ads, right? So they're not just picking a topic like Facebook. This is a Facebook course. Mm-hmm. This is a Facebook group course, or this is a Facebook ads course, So it's really important as a tip for building your course. When you're picking your topic, be really specific, right? There's a big market out there for, even if you go 2 or 3 layers deep into your niche topic. The second step is then niching down on the audience. So let's say I'm building a course on how to build successful Facebook groups for, authors, right? So whatever that, you want to not just say like, you don't want to just say, I'm going to build a course for everyone, because then you're not building a course for anyone, right? It's just like any product that you build. You want to understand who your target audience is and be really specific to who that is. So I'm not, you don't want to say, I'm building a course for entrepreneurs, right? I'm building a Facebook group course for all the entrepreneurs out there. It's like, okay, well, it's too broad, right? So, hey, I'm building a course for all the, a Facebook group course, how to make a profitable Facebook group course for yoga instructors. There's so many yoga instructors out there, right? And so now within that market, you become the go-to person, right? So if I was a yoga instructor, I would rather take your course because you are speaking directly to me versus somebody else that is teaching Facebook groups, but they're just trying to teach it to the broad entrepreneur, market out there, right? So, yeah, that's my tip. Hopefully that helps you guys all out there today.
Yeah. Send it to me. If they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you, Rob? Can you put it in the chat?
Yep. Yeah, no problem. The best way to get a hold of me is just literally my me at I'm just gonna put it out here. Best place is LinkedIn. If you just copy and paste my name on LinkedIn, but I'll also send you the link there, John. Yeah, LinkedIn. You can feel free to message me. You can connect with me on Facebook as well. I treat my Facebook Messenger as kind of like my text messaging now at this point. So feel free to connect with me on there. But more than anything, connect with the Thinkific, any of the Thinkific social profiles. I'm one of the people behind there. So that's checking the messages and things like that on a daily basis. So feel free to message me on there. But I will just put this on.
Yeah, put it in the chat. That'd be great.
Put in the chat. Sure, no problem.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to get a hold of you after this at some point.
Yeah.
Talking about a different opportunity. You were talking about influences and things like that. I have a way, we call them rainmakers, where we can actually help you create more cash flow with your own list. And I'd love to be able to talk about that and see if it's something that might interest you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, John. Yeah, no problem. Perfect. Sounds good.
All right. I know that it's Cyber Monday, and I know it was you and me today, and I kind of expected that a little bit. But I know that when this goes out to tens of thousands of people, I'm going to send it to. And when you send the replay out, I know what you shared today has a lot of value, makes a lot of sense, and it was simplified and easy to follow. So I know it's going to help a lot of people. So I appreciate you coming here and spending time with us today on Cyber Monday.
No, Mom, my pleasure, Jonathan. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's just a pleasure, and if there's anything I can do to help any of you out there, friends of John is friends of ours, so feel free to message us or message me directly. Happy to do that, and look forward to reconnecting again.
All right, thanks everybody that's going to watch the replay. God bless you as always, and until next time I come on, we'll see you then. And thanks, Rob, for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, John.